Wynn wrote, how can I pay for Charis classes when I'm not working and I want to come there? Well, you know, specifically, I don't know how to give you specifics. There's 1,000 things that you can do, but God can prosper you. You know, there is no shortage of money. Some people watching this may think that there are, but there isn't. There is an abundance of money. Just look at this last lottery that we had, where $1.6 billion was raised in just a matter of weeks, people buying, and they were spending money. And I can guarantee you, many of those people who bought those lottery tickets were poor and had other needs, and yet they just chose to do this. There's a lot of money out there. It's just the way people choose to use it. And anybody can prosper. I really believe that. God can give you a creative idea, and in just a moment's time, you could become a millionaire. Now, it doesn't always work that way because, you know, easy come, easy go. The Scripture says that wealth gotten by vanity takes away the life of the owners thereof. True prosperity is a progressive thing. It takes time. But I remember this one woman who was in my Bible studies she was poor. There was times that Jamie and I actually gave her money for her family so that they could eat. Her husband worked, but he was working for a family business and he didn't always get paid, and they were struggling. And anyway, Jamie and I ministered to her, and this woman took this exact attitude that I'm talking about. She had great financial need, and she says, God, I know you can prosper me. You said you'd bless what I set my hand unto. What can I do to generate money? What can I do to make money? And she just prayed this prayer day after day after day. And one day she was actually making some clay for her children to play with, because she didn't like the clay that you bought in the store because it would stick to the carpet and it could ruin the carpet. It was toxic and things like this. So she came up with her own way of making clay, and she was cooking this clay on the stove, and she was saying, God, what can I do? What could I possibly do to make money? And the Lord just spoke to her and says, take this clay. This is non-toxic. It won't stick to anything but itself. And He says, just put some color in it, make 6 different colored little rolls, and she rolled them into these little cylinder things and put them in a baggie. And then she went to one of these shows, you know, that travels around where they have these displays and stuff, and she had this and put a little advertisement up about this is non-toxic. Your children could eat it if they wanted to. It won't stick to anything. It doesn't ruin anything. And she started selling, and this woman became so prosperous, she had to go hire 80 people. And her business was worth millions in just a relatively short period of time. Now, not everybody's going to be led by God to go make clay. Somebody's already done that. But I'm saying there's stuff just like this. Any one of you can prosper. If you'll quit looking at what you don't have and look at what you do have. What did Jesus say to His disciples when they said, we don't have enough food, send the people away? He says, what do you have? And they said, well, there's a lad here with 5 loaves and 2 fish, but what are they among so many? And Jesus took that food, and instead of cursing it and saying, you aren't enough, this will never work, He blessed it and looked up and began to start dividing it. And it just multiplied until it fed 5,000 men, not including all the women and children. And they took more leftovers than they had to start with. You need to quit cursing what you've got and talking about what you don't have, and go to speaking that you have the blessing of God on you. And if God is leading you to participate in CBC and to take these courses or to go to one of the places where we have a school, you just make plans to start moving in that direction and pray and say, God, I'm blessing the work of these hands. You show me what to do. I'm going to set my hand unto something and I'm going to prosper. And I can guarantee you, God will get the money to you. God will supply the need for whatever He tells you to do. If you follow His direction, He doesn't ask you to pay for what He tells you to do. He just asks you to obey and head in that direction, and God will pay for it if you will trust Him. So God bless you. We'll try this again and answer some more questions at another time.